The NSPCC have said that cyberbullying has increased by 88% in the last 5 years. A lot of this is happening on Facebook, as we've heard stories here on this very sofa. What can you do to protect those using it against this?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have a job to do, right? We have to have policies in place. We need to take down bullying content and harassing content, and we
Can
do
you
that.
do that?
Well, you know what? We need our users, our people who are utilizing it to report it. But we also can do things. So
it's hard, though, isn't it? Because it's like the child in the playground that won't tell the teachers they're being bullied for fear of being bullied further. To report it to you, it puts them in a more vulnerable position.
To report it to us is anonymous, so it may be actually a good way for them to do it. But I actually agree. I understand what you're saying, and I think that's why peer-to-peer programs are so important. So one of the things we do know is that when kids are experiencing these things, they often turn to their peers, and their peers are need to have the information to provide the right kind of guidance.
Bearing in mind that I think it's 20,000 users actively involved with Facebook at any second on the planet. So a lot of criticism has been laid at the door of that reporting process because people, I think, probably imagine 20,000 users on there a second. You type in your complaint and it's going to fire off to some desk somewhere and someone's going to see that come through and think, oh, well, I'll just check that, make sure that's OK. Impossible. How many moderators do you have?
We have thousands of moderators. I think we have committed to having a total of 20,000 people working on these issues by the end of the year. But we also need to use technologies.
Right, I was going to ask you then, because a lot of this is algorithm-based, isn't it? You spot anomalies, you spot patterns, and so you're relying on technology, on computers, to pick it out.
Some of it, yes. In fact, some of it we actually can rely on technology to prevent it in the first place. So we recently announced we are utilizing technology to remove fake accounts. One of the reasons we're focused quite a bit on that is because fake accounts are often used to bully, to harass.
Yeah.
And so if we can get in front of those accounts, we can actually prevent these harms, which is really important.
The peer-to-peer program that you were talking about probably wouldn't have helped Nicola's daughter, Megan, because it was friends that she knew at school that put this page up, this I Hate Megan Evans page. It was 300 people that were attracted, of her peers, that were attracted to that page. So what happens to Megan? Who's going to help her?
Well, first of all, we have a responsibility to take down that kind of content and to provide those.
How will you see it when you've got 20,000 people a second? How will you see
So
that
we use technologies. It is challenging. You're 100% right. It is challenging. We use technologies to flag groups that may be abusive, pages that may be abusive. But we also really need to get to students on the ground, in the playground, in classrooms, because the truth is, almost always, if we're seeing something online, it's happening offline too. It's happening in a school, it's happening in a classroom. It's almost never happening in isolation. Yeah. So we need to give kids skills, social and emotional learning skills, to develop the resilience that they need to deal with these situations, and also to be able to have conversations. We need to do more than that, though. We also need to get to teachers and to parents.
Well, Lucy, and we've all got our Be Kind wristbands on today. You were very kindly wearing one for us as well. Lucy, who's one of the mums, she was Felix's mum. We saw him, his picture in the video there, had a lot of verbal abuse thrown at him on Facebook Messenger. And I suppose, really, that, I mean, there is an issue here between you defending a young person and inhibiting someone else's free speech. What is abuse for one person is free speech for another. So how fast can you analyse this? Your thousands, tens of thousands of mediators and your algorithms. If Felix's mum contacts you and says he's being bullied senseless on Messenger, how quickly can you respond?
So, two things. When we get a report, we generally are able to respond within 24 hours. Oftentimes much, much quicker. This is where technology can play a really important role. Technology can help escalate and identify which are the reports that we need to deal with first. So that's one way we can actually speed things up. The other thing that we can do is to try to get in front of these things through preventative technologies.
OK, and just out of interest, because Facebook generated sort of over 31 billion last year, how much of that money, that pot, is earmarked for safety?
That's a really good question. I think we have heard from Mark himself that we are putting people over profits, and we've seen it in our bottom line. And we recently changed some of our things that are happening inside of our newsfeed, what you see coming across every time you open up Facebook, to ensure that we're really focusing on positive, meaningful social interactions as opposed to passive scrolling. And that has hit our bottom line. And that's fine, because a better product for people using our platform is better for everybody. It's better for us too.
Absolutely.
And how much of this has been financially motivated? You're thinking, actually, hold on a second, you know, this is going to start affecting our share price. You know, you are a big company. It's in your interest that young people use your platform a lot. You probably won't say, but you could say, it's not my responsibility to police the internet. If your child's using it too much, that's your affair. It's not ours. We're just there providing a service. So for you guys, you're sitting here, are you doing this just as a PR stunt?
Well, I'm doing this actually, really, quite frankly, because I'm a mom. I have a child who's 21 years old. We went through these technologies without all of this stuff in place. So I know what it feels like to have that anxiety, to not know how do I start a conversation with my child? How do I tell them that I don't want them using something until they're 13? Or here are the rules that I have, or I want them to put down the phone at night and have time that is downtime. That's hard. And I want parents to have the tools to do that.